Welcome back. Or if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Let me get this out of the way. That title, it is not clickbait. That is exactly what we're talking about. And why not give some love to our Gen X sisters? To be honest, anybody who's watching is going to have a great time because this is all about beautiful women. Yes, the gorgeous women of TV, movie, and musics of a certain era and how they got ahead by using one of the most iconic toys found from the Xperience. But which one of them did it best? I'm Victor, and straight out of the Xperience, the heads of our favorite TV glamour girls on those classic styling center toys that were all the rage in the 70s and early 80s. Whose bust was best when it came to the most spot-on likeness? Licensing their look, we'll check out these celebrity superstars and see how their heads compared. From Cher to Brooke Shields, who, to quote Madonna, you be the judge. The Donnie and Marie Show. I was always excited the minute it started. I'm not sure why. I'm not a fan of their music. Perhaps it was the cheesy variety show sketches that I couldn't turn away from. None more exciting than their campy Broadway musical Star Wars, complete with Chris Christopherson. Rest in peace. Mattel had already created the toy line and even a TV studio set for the dolls to interact with. But since the toy company had success with the Barbie Beauty Center, why not pop old Bab's head off and swap it with that of the toothy grin of Marie Osmond? And I mean toothy. That's certainly something they got right. However, to keep the theme of the toy line, the Beauty Center name from Barbie became the TV Makeup Center, like this was Marie Osmond's dressing room. Those long, luscious, dark locks begged to be styled, and the flowery pink base was perfect to hold many of the accessories any girl needed to get Marie ready for set. The toy came out in 1976 and was faithful to the Osmond family female during the same time, especially the hairstyle out of the box. Of course, once a kid got their hands on these toys, they never quite looked the same again. No matter what you did to her though, Marie kept that permagrin plastered on like the rest of her Utah brethren. How do you think they did with Marie's likeness? Was it recognizable, even without the box to tell you who it was? Here we can compare Marie in real life during 1976. Did her head do her justice? After 16 albums, Marie Osmond still has quite the following and is still touring at 65 years old. Looking at her today, can you still see the resemblance? Let us all know what you think. A year later, another superstar put her head on the chopping block. How'd she do? Cher was an obvious candidate for these very popular toys of the era. Her straight black hair was like a blank canvas, but it was her face, all ready to be dolled up, that makes us go, Yes, it does resemble Cher, complete with that side smirk she's famous for. Most of these do look like their counterparts enough, but maybe not quite enough. You have to admit, there is something uncanny about them that you can't put your finger on. The 1977 Cher Makeup Center, just taking the word TV out of the name from the Marie Osmond version, came during Cher's popular TV era, when she had gone from the Sonny and Cher show with her then husband to just the Cher show after the divorce and back to Sonny and Cher. Her hit singles and albums, not to mention that remarkable and memorable physique, made Cher a household name and an unmistakable superstar. Here she is in 1977. What do you think when comparing that to the toy? Does it represent? Cher's style and that figure was ideal for doll representation. And she already had one of those. Check out my show, Fugly Dolls Nobody Asked For. But this doll head came with tons of makeup and hair accessories for hours of fun. Even false eyelashes with adhesive. Talk about messy. Even though she's pretty plain out of the box, every little girl was about to give her a makeover she'd never forget. And then there was what happens when a brother gets their hands on one of these. Because this hair does not grow back. Now let's take a look at Cher today at 78 years old. Would you still recognize this toy as the icon? Amazingly, Cher has had some work done on her bust. And by that, I mean fans who customize this vintage doll head makeup center into a gorgeous doppelganger that no child could perform. 1977 may have been the year of Star Wars, but it was also the year of the styling bust, when Mego released both Cher and this TV star the same year. Popular is not quite an accurate enough description of just how epic Farrah Fawcett's stardom had become. Rising to fame in Charlie's Angels, she was a fan favorite, and that poster still goes down in history as the most lucrative ever made. Her smile was infectious and huge, which makes you wonder why they didn't use that characteristic on the Farrah Fawcett Styling Center. Instead, this toy's visage of the superstar television private investigator used a more relaxed but aloof design, with Farrah's mouth just slightly open, as if to say, "Come hither." But that hair, they got that right. That rooted full head of hair out of the box drove the iconic style of this celebrity home. Styling the huge feathered locks could offer some satisfaction, as it was hair that almost everybody wanted. Looking at Farrah in 1977, do you think they got it right? How does her head compare? With such an iconic hairdo, I'm not sure why any girl would want to touch it, but the temptation was just too great, and suddenly Farrah looked like this. Or this. Whether little would-be hairstylists or curious brothers with scissors, she was going to get destroyed, and there would be no coming back. I can't explain it, but when I see these things looking like a hot dumpster fire after a cut-rate makeover, they just look sad, don't they? I can't blame them. But here once again is the lovely real-life Farrah Fawcett during 1977. How'd they do? Do you think the bright shiny smile of hers would have made it all the better? Or it just doesn't matter? Like Cher, many adult collectors have been able to recreate the bust of their favorite TV star in ultimate realism. But I just gotta wonder about whoever is doing this. Where do they keep it at night? While they're sleeping? I know I just made it creepy, but you were thinking it. So did Migos' Farrah give us some of the best head ever? And it wasn't just Migo in 1977 that brought these to life. That same year, Kenner released another celebrity styling center, or should I say, styling boutique. The slightly altered name of the same toy as all the rest wasn't the only difference. The toy was not marketed as Lindsay Wagner, but the character Jamie Summers played by Wagner on the hit TV action show. It fit right into Kenner's Bionic line, where both the Bionic Woman and $6 Million Man had concurrent toy lines of various playsets and action dolls. The Bionic Woman was seen weekly, fighting not just crime but international espionage, and was given tough assignments separate from her on-again, off-again romantic partner Steve Austin. Grave danger and high stakes didn't afford the Bionic Woman the same respect though, and Jamie was treated much more like Mattel's Barbie. While Steve had a repair station playset, a similar product in the Bionic Woman toy line was marketed as the beauty salon. I don't know about you, but I have never seen a salon that hooks you up to computers with jumper cables. It looks like the Matrix. Girls didn't mind this naming convention though, and got themselves the Bionic Styling Boutique. In line with the rest of the styling celebrity heads, the Bionic Woman, complete with logo on the base, would come packed with accessories to do what you must to the beautiful Lindsay Wagner bust. I don't know about you, but this one looks pretty damn good. Am I right? Down to that characteristic nose of hers. This is the lovely Lindsay in 1977, and we see that Kenner pulled out all the stops and gets an A for effort with their only attempt at a celebrity head. What do you think? The box showcases some possible styles that surprisingly would be perfect for a late 70s date with Colonel Austin. If only you could actually duplicate these. And yes, more people still today customize this doll bust into something even more glamorous and more realistic than you can imagine. But there is only one thing missing from the original set: tools. That's right, a full-on toolkit for a feature that I think would have almost had boys begging to own this toy. Tell me that having a fembot faceplate as sort of a endoskeleton skull wouldn't have had you desperate to get your hands on one. Wait, go back. Buddy Hackett and Tina Turner top billed at Caesar's Palace? Whoa, what happens in Vegas, right? Peel back Jamie's beautiful face to reveal the terrifying robotic replica that you can tune up with included tools like screwdrivers, blowtorch, or torque wrench. Did Kenner miss an opportunity on that one? Let us know in the comment, as well if you think Jamie's toy gave good face. Before their success with the Thundercats and other toys, LJN took a shot at this beauty toy line craze by featuring the young Brooke Shields. Leveling up the name, they put their own spin on the celebrity head by calling it the Glamour Center. Brooke was glamour, even though they started sexualizing her at a very young age. Who can forget her roles just prior to this toy's release in 1982? The often forgotten Endless Love, and the never forgotten coming-of-age hormone-charged Blue Lagoon. That's right, that Brooke, and now she's given us great head on top of her stand and base filled with the same accoutrement of her celebrity head sisters.
Brooke Shields, she's a beautiful doll.
LGN kept her imagery very innocent, accurate with full long brown hair right down to those natural Brooke Shield bushy eyebrows painted on the face. Compared to Marie Osmond 6 years earlier, who had pencil-thin eyebrows, they made sure to give Brooke the thick, obvious brows she was famous for. Still, I can't say that it's obviously Brooke. What about you? Do you see it? Here she is alongside the real Brooke Shields. Did they get it right? Beautiful as she was, I didn't think her head was as up to par as the rest of the celebrity lookalikes. Am I just crazy? Maybe it comes across too youthful, as if they modeled it from her earlier pictures when she played a child prostitute or the little sex kitten co-star of George Burns. What did you think about LGN's Brooke Shields that your sister, or you, defaced with a little makeup or a pair of shears? The queen of style in the toy aisle has always been Barbie. The first version of this toy phenom was the Beauty Center in 1972, when Mattel's think tank and focus groups discovered how important hair play was to young girls at the time. You could have dozens of Barbie dolls, but this toy allowed you more extensive creativity when it came to Barbie's complete appearance. And it tempted brothers at the time to make their own modifications, with only a marker and scissors. Barbie didn't stop in 72,
Hi, how are you?
but continued to change over the years. This play pattern has never ceased its value, and Barbie evolved with Quick Curl, Fashion Face, and the extremely unimaginatively named Styling Head. Not to mention the face that had evolved along with its 12-inch doll counterpart. The latest even added nails. That's right, a first, with hands where adding polish was an extra feature. Not to mention some big-ass lips. The hands were designed to swing out from under her chin. Sprouting from hidden elbows, this arrangement was far more like one of those Halloween decorations of a ghoul popping out of the earth. Even right from the get-go, Mattel knew its audience and began selling the black Barbie version right alongside the white. Sadly, there were no black women represented when it came to the celebrities. Of course, Barbie we know is a fictional character, but why did they stop with only these 5 movie, TV, and music stars? I can think of a whole slew of other celebrities who might love to have a little Glamour Center playset. Who do you think would have been good at the time? Wheezy from the Jeffersons? Diane Carroll? Or maybe Mary Tyler Moore or Linda Carter would have been loved. In the 80s, maybe boys could get involved with a little barbershop action of their own, featuring the head of David Hasselhoff that came complete with a pick for his chest hair. Or perhaps Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon, or David Lee Roth perched on a base. All they came with was a comb for boys to run through those locks, dreaming of the day they could grow out their hair like a rock star. Never gonna happen, I know. Barbie must have put her stilettoed foot down, as after Brooke Shields, outside of the Pink Princess, no other celebrity styling heads emerged. The era of the Glamour Center as a viable market for TV and music icons was over, but their legacy lives on in these once popular toy trends. And surprise, only one of these celebrities has passed. It's amazing we're still gifted with the presence of Marie Osmond, Cher, and even Lindsay Wagner and Brooke Shields. It's only Farrah who bit the big one back in 2009, but she will live forever, not only through her television legacy, but through these doll heads that will live long after we're all gone. I might have shaved a lot of hair off my sister's Princess Leia action doll and tried to recover by coloring it in with a brown marker so she'd never notice. But I never destroyed her Barbie styling head. Thanks for being here, folks, and if you enjoyed this one, why not leave a like and subscribe? Do you have any memories of this iconic toy or from the generation that, unlike today, made things that last forever? I'd love to hear more about your Gen experience, so share them in the comments. And thanks for those returning to the channel and those who stuck it out to the end of this one. Until next time.